for some of these guys, like, it's the empowerment. You become the head of their household.
Oh yeah.
Upon signing a contract.
With unlimited access to anything you've ever wanted.
You feel the difference in how people around you are talking to you.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Sometimes it just goes up here. And you start to forget that there's consequences or your responsibilities.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it happens.
Absolutely.
It happens. And sometimes you're just stuck in your ways.
That's who you see. That's when you see who a person really is, I think. When you remove consequences from their actions, when they have no fear of consequence for the things they say and do, that's who they actually are. When you get the person who has a job and he's a great 9-to-5 employee every day, when he hits the lottery, if he goes back to work, however he's acting after he hit the lottery, that's who he really is. If he's the same guy, that's who he always was. If he's, yo, kiss my ass, I'm not doing none of that. Yo, you a bozo, you a clown.
Money just
you this, you that.
Who you are. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
But it's more lessons and losses. Like, I feel like it's a necessary evil to go through the shit you go through. Now, if you get it, if you understand it and you get it at a certain point and you don't wind up dead or in jail, great. But a lot of times the lessons are absolutely necessary to succeed in life. So I think what Ja is going through is necessary for him to understand in retrospect in the future, like, all right, I need to straighten up. You're absolutely right. It's all on me. But I think it's necessary.
I disagree.
He didn't have to go through this. No,
I disagree.
I don't feel like he had to go through these transitions. He brought this shit on himself, so I don't feel like he had to go through this.
I don't think self-inflicted issues are ever necessary.
But it's a learning experience for him.
You can learn from somebody else's experience. Look at what somebody else
did. You don't live long enough to make all the mistakes.
You also got to look at his age too. You got to also look at his age.
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I do not.
Does he just mention LeBron?
No, I do not. Because you're grown enough to go through everything you put if it's self-inflicted, you put yourself here, age regardless. You decided at this age to do everything that happened. You decide what comes with it is not up to you. But what you decided to do
Some people
is
is not mature though.
Then that's up. Then you're gonna get them consequences. But no judge. We're not the kind of people who get the judges who say, look at your age, I'm going to make an exception. We don't get those. That's not for us. You need to learn that
coming
off the porch.
He came from a good household too. You know, mom, dad, you know, look like a good family. You know, but the dynamic of that changes with the money, like you said.
Right.
You know,
or circumstance.
Now he's the head of the household, basically. Mom, dad, you don't tell me what to do. And I just brought you a motherfucking Ferrari and a Bentley and shit, man. Shut the fuck up. No. I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. That's definitely what it is. You know what I'm saying? I love my moms and family and shit, but I ain't gonna tell me what to do when I'm buying and paying for everything, nigga. It's just not just, you know what I'm saying?
So
same shit they used to tell you, it's my house. You're in my house. You is not
it's my
motherfucking
right. So how was it for you? Because you grew up in a household of Jehovah's Witnesses. Right?
Yeah, I did. You know, it's crazy. My early years was real crazy because, like, the first half of my life, I lived with my mom and my dad was together. My dad left when I was about 5. And so that's when I went to live with my grandparents. My dad was real abusive and shit. So, you know, it was real crazy, real dark. And I got to see, you know, things that, you know, really hurt me because it was the pain of my mom, you know, that type of shit. So when that was, you know, over, my mom's sent me to live with my grandparents and you know, they were all Jehovah's Witnesses.
Right.
My mother too included. It was like any other religion, I guess, at first. You know, you just go to church. And,
I grew up like that too.
They had some extra shit. You had to go.
Like
you had to know the Bible and all that. Did you know verses and shit?
Yeah, you know, it's. I'm gonna tell you something about this religion because word of mouth.
I grew up the same way. I know.
It kind of helped in a lot of ways.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? Me and Exhibit grew up Jehovah's Witness too. And we was just on tour in Australia together. He pulled me to the side. He said, yo, boy, he said, we talked to you. I said, what's up, Lex? He said, yo, you know, I grew up Jehovah's Witness too. He said, I understand that shit you taught. I said, oh shit, I didn't know that. A lot of artists did, but Big did as well. But a lot of artists did. But here's the crazy shit about the religion. So when you're young, they put you on stage and shit. Like at young
To do a
ages to
talk.
speak, to do talks and shit in front of the crowd, in front of the congregation.
I never heard of that.
Yeah. So at a young age, at like 8, 9, 10 years old, I'm speaking in front of crowds of people.
Public speaking.
Which helped me become a good salesman.
Right.
But you know, that those things, I guess, fear, you know, getting over a fear of a crowd or whatever,
Right.
it started right there. But then
You remember the things that you used to talk about
in
those moments?
Bible shit. You know what I'm saying? You had to like, what was it? You had to like pick a
Yeah,
scripture.
you had to pick a scripture, dissect the scripture.
Whatever, and to talk
like
about
that.
it.
You remember your scripture, don't you?
I don't remember. But another thing they used to do, you used to have to learn like the Bible scriptures from front to back. So
Right.
Yeah.
like Genesis, Leviticus, Exodus, Leviticus, Exodus,
Deuteronomy, Numbers.
Galatians, Revelations.
I don't remember it no more, but we used to have to do that shit. You know, so there was certain things and shit that was, and just learning about, I guess, God, and period. You know, learning some. My kids don't know nothing about God. Like they're not godly people like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up with a disdain for religion.
Why? Because you felt like it was forced on you?
Because no, religion's forced on all the kids. You know, when you're young, you go to church, Christian, you don't fucking want to go, but you gotta go. You know, so it's forced on everybody. But it was different in Jehovah's Witness religion because how strict it is.
Very strict.
And so it tore my family apart. You know, like my mom's got this fellowship when I was like 11, 12. I was living with my grandparents. And we had a nice little, you know, setup going on. I'm there with my grandparents. My mom's come take me on the weekends. I go with her. You know, my grandparents had a nice home, you know, with some grass. They lived in Hollis, Queens, and 208th Street right there. You know what I'm saying? Just off Franny Lou, and it was, you know, nice little house. You know what I'm saying? And it was comfortable for me to be able to live and whatever. And so I go see my mom's on the weekend. My mom's live wherever. You know what I'm saying? In the building here, but my mom's always moving and shit. But you know, my mom's is a soldier. You know what I'm saying? So that was our setup. When she got this fellowship, no one's now allowed to talk to you anymore.
Nope. Yeah,
it's like they banish you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're outcast now.
Facts.
So they banished my mother, and my grandparents sat me down and it was like, yeah, you know, your mother's not gonna be able to come on the weekends and do her visits anymore. So, you know, I'm like, well, you know, why? Why not? You know, I said, well, she's. This is before it happened, and so it was about to be announced at the Kingdom Hall.
You let everybody
What is
know.
the fellowship?
This fellowship is when they kick you out the whip.
They basically kick you out.
So you basically did something that's
Why is it
against the
called a
rules.
fellowship?
Yeah, it sounds like the opposite thing.
This fellowship.
This fellowship.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So if you did something,
I was hearing fellowship.
Yeah, I
so
was
if
hearing
if you did something within the Kingdom Hall congregation that's against the
against
rules and the guidelines of the
they'll
congregation,
disfellowship. But only if you baptize, you can get disfellowship.
if you baptize,
Yeah, if you're not baptized, you get disassociated.
disassociated.
I still remember
yeah.
this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how they
Kick you
let
out
you
the
know.
way.
You know what I'm saying? It just stays with you. So anyway, they disfellowship my mother, and they tell me I can't, she can't make these visits to me anymore.
How did that make you feel?
In that moment, I feel like in that moment is when I became quote unquote a man, because I made the decision to leave my comfortable surroundings and go with my mother in our shaky surroundings and with no, I'm a kid. I was 12. I didn't really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know, I wasn't thinking about the future. I just know I wanted to be with my mom.
Right.
So that was the decision I made. Like, you know what? I don't want to be here if my mother can't come visit and be with me. So I didn't really know what was about to happen. So, you know, like how this whole banished thing goes. So I
They
go,
banished you too?
You can't hang
nigga,
out
I'm
with
with
the
my
kids.
mother. I'm the banished.
You can't hang out with the kids from the congregation or nothing, yo.
This shit is crazy. So I go,
Religious cooties or something.
yo, it's crazy. They
crazy.
do it to shame you, and so you come back. But most of the time, it doesn't work. It backfires, and people are like, fuck you. Nobody wants to talk to me no more. I'm not doing this and sit. And you're supposed to go to the meetings, and nobody talk to you. And you gotta go to, like, this is your punishment. Like, people is looking at you, all your friends you kick it with every week, and shit like
that.
They're looking at you like
that.
You shame. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here. So most people just stop going after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here. Because, you know, real talk, what they disfellowship with moms was like regular shit. She go hang out with her coworkers after work, have some drinks, shit like that, bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Hanging out with worldly people and drinking. And she was living a double life, and she had a boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? So in their eyes, she was doing way too motherfucking much. You know what I'm saying? And my mom's, she a real one. She was like, you know what? You right. I'm tired of living a double life. Go ahead and disfellowship. That was my mom told me. You know what I'm saying? She told me. She told him. So she was like, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, she was happy when I came to stay with her and live with her. But then everything changed. Everything was different then. You know what I mean? You know, my grandparents wasn't really fucking with us. It was, you know, we was just on our own basically, moving from, you know, place to place, getting evicted from this spot, evicted from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My grandfather, every once in a while, you know, if my mother really was like we getting thrown out of the house and shit, thrown out of the apartment, he'd fucking, you know, give up some money. But it was like real, it was fucked up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, that's crazy.
I grew up real bitter towards religion after that. Like, fuck religion, you don't need, you got your one-on-one with God, that's what you got. That's what I have, and it worked for me. God blessed me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He didn't bless anybody else. That's with your old religion, he blessed me. You know why? Because I have my one-on-one. That's why.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.